Over the decade we've had CSGO. Players and pro team have always tried to come up with the best strategies, with the goal to gain an advantage of the enemy team, and maybe even making an era for themselves. But after 10 years, how much have these strats evolved? And are they perfect after a decade of theory crafting? Well, join me on this journey down memory lane. I got this idea from a home TV's Mirage smoke window, go check that out. CSGO got released in 2012. Before CSGO, we already had big tournaments in CSGO predecessors like Source and 1.6. So coming into this new game, strats and high level tactics were not a new thing. So how did it look like in the start? Well, let's hop into the time machine and take us back to 2012 and the first ever CSGO tournament, in the grand final of this event. Already in round 3, the first buy round, we are seeing smoke being used early to take map control, like we still see in CSGO. But when the T side takes mid and CT spawn, we are not seeing a single smoke being thrown for this, just wide swinging and trading. This is something we do not see 11 years later. But mad props to the team for having the balls for this. Let's skip some rounds ahead to get a better understanding of the way strats was done in 2012. In round 14 we are seeing a standard A long take with flashes over the building and a T running out. But we are not seeing any smokes from the T side when they are taking site. In 2013, NiP went on a winning streak of 87 LAN maps in a row. And I want to see if strats only got better, since this is something we will never see again. Well, let's look at the first ever CSGO major, the DreamHack Winter 2013 major. With NiP vs Fnatic in the final. The winner brought home $100,000 and the glory of being the first ever champion of CSGO. Well, we are back on Dust 2. How has it changed from 2012? If you need a refresher, the T-side would push out and taking gunfights rather than using utility to cross important choke points. Well, in this major, we are still seeing this in round 5. Forest swings CT spawn with no smokes, even though Fiflarian, Getright and Forest himself have a smoke. Luckily here, after Forest's wide swing, we see a smoke come later. Massive improvements from last year. In round 7, we are seeing a different approach to a slow long take, with Fnatic leaving the Opera alone on long with no support flash, as well as NiP using one flash to have 3 players cross and 1 more flash to peek the Opera. We are as well seeing Fnatic using random flashes to push out of the smoke as well as no flashes for JW to get out. In round 8, we are seeing a door smoke from NiP to get to Xbox. Not the smoke we see being used today, since an AWPer can see over the smoke, and it's the reason NiP's AWPer is holding the top of the smoke. Now we are over on Inferno, do not worry, we will not only be talking about Dust 2 tactics for this entire video. In round 4 we are seeing 2 smokes being used in middle, with 50 seconds left and the T going the route of no respect and pushes through them. We are still not seeing lineups, more of a run and throw kind of play. In round 5 we are seeing a more coordinated attack, with the team splitting up and taking map control with 3 players on banana and 2 players ready to fake A. And as we can see, with 30 seconds left, we are seeing Fnatic group up on A. The fake was always B. Getright wakes up and wins the round in a 2v5. Here the biggest change from today's are the lack of lineups. Look how Schneider smokes long with no lineup, as well as how Devilwalk smokes with no lineups. This today is a cardinal sin, but we will have to wait and see when the pros understand this. What we can learn from these games are that utility have been understood to help you hold and take positions on the map. But the concept of lineups and set executes are lost in the sauce in these games. But from 2012 we are seeing massive improvements. It's a big year for CSGO. The game peaked at 360,000 players by the end of the year, and in March the first major of the year is being played. Here the final we are seeing Mirage as the first map for the first time, and this will not be the last time. In the pistol we are seeing lineups from Virtus Pro to take A site with a CT, stairs and bench smoke. Already improvement, as well as having Pasha in mid to have a proper setup with more map control. To meet this tactic, NiP has placed Getright to push mid, as well as playing 1B, 3 mid and 1A.
By the crowd, as Virtus Pro are 3 men to the good now, and NIP in real trouble. It's Freiburg and Exist to try and bail them out here as Snacks pushes himself out, is caught by the crossbow. Freiburg's been dropped. It's all on Exist. He's got 2. He's going to have to get 5 if he wants this one, and he is slaughtered by the remaining 3 VP players.
After a loss in pistol, NiP buys pistols, armor and some nades to fight back in the round 2. We can see how aware Virtus Pro are of this, and they play all 5 players in mid to take long range fights versus the pistols. Let's see how this plays out.
A rock and a hard place as the bomb is also in that site. And they are 2 to the good, and that was a real test that Virtus Pro overcame. Yeah.
It was not successful, but damaging the economy of VP. In round 3, Nip is left with only pistols and nades. The nade gets used to try to get someone in ramp and no follow up. Round 4 is the first round with a proper buy for Nip, and the first buy versus buy round for the final. This shows you why the pistol tactics was so important. The round is a B execute, and look at the smokes Virtus Pro throw. A smoke for balcony and car, as well as one for the McDonald's smoke, leaving this much of the site open, as well as a badly coordinated push with Bayali running out before the flashes while the rest of Virtus Pro are still in apps. In round 5 we are seeing the top mid smoke being thrown manually from Virtus Pro, but the window smoke is being thrown by Taz from spawn, so some lineups are known while some are not as important. Nip is down 4-11, and this game rests on their pistol round. Let's see tactics they are using to win this. Nip throws the same smokes as Virtus Pro, but had no mid present to have map control, but focusing on a full A take. Nip's jungle smoke has a massive gap, giving Virtus Pro the upper hand, as well as Nip being way more aggressive, taking CT control from Virtus Pro. This backfires and Virtus Pro wins the pistol.
As VP and NIP both pick up a kill, but NIP push 2 players round towards the CT spawn to chase out Pasha, who'll now try to make amends of this, but this has been a fast and ferocious bomb plant from NIP. Get Right does get one back in, but in will go Neo to try and kill through as they have 2 NIP up against 2 VP. VP make it a more manageable account, but the bomb ticks louder and louder, and Get Right gets lower and lower on health. Here goes Neo to finish off.
We saw 2 different pistol rounds. Virtus Pro felt more complete with more proper nades, position and tactics, while Nips was not really feeling coordinated with the CT take, utility and map control. Nips round 17 is something else, with a proper rush and a nade stack on car, and a more coordinated push than Virtus Pro B rush, while getting 1 player out of window as soon as 1 player goes out for balcony. A more coordinated round.
Hitting another guy, and that was the perfect play from Virtus Pro.
Taz picks up the P90. He loves picking up the P90.
Oh yes, he's always surprising.
NIP gonna... It was a great early round from NIP. 5-man after plant.
100%. Their tactic was perfect, but they got outplayed by Virtus Pro once again because Virtus Pro only lost 1 man. But you know, that's not enough.
In round 4 we are seeing Virtus Pro with superior tactics like Bialy's push through apps, as well as the banana take with a deep banana smoke, as well as early utility to banana to do some damage. On the other side of the map, we are seeing Nip's very weird take with no smokes used for the first seconds when they are taking mid, second mid and banana, and see how Virtus Pro have countered this from Nip. In round 12, Nip changed the style of play and started to be more aggressive, coordinated, and with utility taking top banana and apps. Nip's execute is lacking with 2 players running through a Molotov with a flash but no CT smoke.
That first Molotov, and they'll charge into the fire that is Neo. 2 big frags for him. Snax is going to join the party with 2 of his own, and it's Exist again in a 1-on-3.
It's another 11-4 and Virtus Pro is on pistol. We are again seeing Virtus Pro understanding of map control are on a different level. Instead of using 1 smoke they have for top mid, they send Pasha and Snax to take mid control while the rest go banana and using the smoke for CT. A much better idea than what we saw from Nip. After a failed B execute, they retreat and go back to A, where Nip was ready and wins the pistol. In round 18, we're seeing a hero, FAMAS, from Virtus Pro and they play it towards banana, with the FAMAS first and pistol behind, but the round is lost. After we're seeing massive improvements in map control, utility usage, but we are not there yet. B was being taken with only 1 smoke for CT and fighting coffins, as well as the understanding of map control in Inferno was 3 second mid, 1 banana, never a dedicated mid player. So tactics have improved, but they're not on the level we see today. In August, we are having the second major around the corner. Nip is on the T side on Cobble, and again in pistol, we have 1 smoke and have set up 4 guys towards A and 1 lurker, already better than their Mirage pistol. The smoke is thrown on the run to doors, and execute kicks in.
Pronax already going down. Flusher gotta get back to safety, but there is no safety. Freiburg almost takes him down after dropping his teammate. Flaren goes down. Crims, the backup is here. Flusher stays alive and takes down Forest. There's a knife on JW, but it's not enough.
Nip loses this. A big repeat we are seeing is the lack of lineups and map control in the pistol rounds. In the first buy round, we are seeing a very slow approach from Nip. At 35 seconds left, the tactic is in. Great smokes to cover the first fight and then flashes for the rest. Throughout the T side of NiP, we are seeing a slow playstyle to punish Fnatic playstyle of early aggression. What we're missing in these tactics is lineup for flashes and lineup for smokes. In the pistol round again, we are seeing Fnatic take drop room. They send all 5 players to drop with a smoke for the door and 2 flashes. Something that backfires since they missed the idea of a window player and gets punished for this. Something we see here is that the time from the flash pop to Fnatic drop, if a player under plays anti-flash, they are able to dodge the flash and turn before Fnatic drops down. In the first buy versus buy in the half, we are seeing Fnatic having lineups for B take. This backfires since Fnatic have been too slow up until now before the execute, and Forest punishes them with a well-timed peek, awarding him 2 kills. And after this game, I'm thinking, how good was the slow playstyle before? Since a slower playstyle is good if you can get map control first, which we saw NiP do well, while Fnatic didn't do. We are now on map 3, with Inferno again. Let's see how the game plan for NiP have changed after they lost to Virtus Pro last major final. NiP are still rocking the 1 smoke setup, but this time a more aggression towards middle, with 4 out of 5 players running in mid. NiP loses a smoke when Axis dies, but still managed to win by winning the one-on-one fights.
Only with 16 HP, but lethal just the same. And speaking of lethal, hello Get Right, takes out JW, and now it is the 2-on-1. Olafmeister has to roll into the crossfire, flashes out CT, uses the molly to clear 1/2, but we have a man waiting on the site. It is Fiflaren, who's gonna keep him off the bomb, and the molly actually backfires! Olafmeister forced out into the...
In round 2, we are seeing Fnatic full buy with 2 scouts. Well, that's new, and a banana push with a smoke lineup from spawn for bottom banana. A scout car and a pushing CC. After Fnatic takes banana, they send 3 out of 4 players to A. You can clearly see their understanding of map control is already developed further than last major. And Fnatic with a great hold wins the second round. This one was purely won by the lack of map control by NiP and the crazy anti-strat of Fnatic. In round 4, we are seeing NiP do another apps pop with no moto smoke or flashes to get out, which punishes them big time.
Picked up a sick kill, second one from Flusher, and it's a 2-on-4. Forest very low on health here. That was a very explosive round from NIP, but Flusher manages it mid-air. JW picks up that shot with the AWP.
In round 5, we are seeing a new way of taking B, with a side smoke for the planter to use, while the rest takes CT. This is an interesting way to say the least. But we are still missing key smokes and utility for this to work in today's environment of CSGO tactics. In Fnatic's pistol, we are seeing a proper long smoke for the take, but that's the only smoke we have. With a well-timed flash, Fnatic are out taking fights, left and right, and winning the pistol.
Round, and he's going to be waiting here. They're going to come charging in. They've already spotted him. He charges out, and he's going to go down. Olafmeister gets the opening. Fnatic, this round is huge for them if they can take it. Fiflaren falls next. Now Exist trying to recover, but it's not working. Fnatic with a perfect entry, and I think NIP swapped their positions exactly 5 seconds too early.
Exactly, at the wrong time there. The nades largely ineffective for Fnatic as well. The flash, as we could see, not really stopping anybody, but in the end, really, Forrest not able to land his shots. Fiflaren, Exist, everybody getting overrun. It comes down to Get Right and Freiburg now in a 2-on-4 retake situation. They go rushing up onto the site, sees head in hand. Get Right gets 1 kill. They each do, in fact.
In round 19, we're seeing Get Right miss buy and having to waste a flash and $200 in spawn to buy a new nade. As we can see, economy understanding was not at the level it is today. The whole concept of map control is still lost in round 19, as well as some lineups. NiP wins the round after Fnatic wasted smokes in the wrong positions of the map.
Follow up with an armor as well. Not opening happening here. Fiflaren's going to take down 1, and Forrest will pick it up. Great grenade coming out here from Pronax. Will do some more damage. NIP are very softened up, but Get Right, doesn't matter how little HP he's got. He's going to pick up a triple kill, a double kill actually, sorry, and Flusher will go down after the 1. So a fairly...
What we have learned from 2014 is that lineup and utility management is starting to form, but it's not at its final destination, with lineups for Moto, Archer and Inferno and more have not been developed or understood as necessary or crucial parts of the game. As well as some key rules like running with utility out and not peeking of flashes has not been developed. Before we enter 2015, we have to talk how fast metas can change, with the tactics changing as well. CSGO has always been a developed game that's getting regular updates for gameplay, balancing or new elements. This makes the meta always changing, with map updates, set tactic and execute will become obsolete, or weapon updates to balance out guns can change the meta in itself. And so much more can have an impact of how the game is being played. The 3 years we are going to talk about are all quite similar in tactic evolution, and we will group it in as the start of eras. In 2015 we saw 3 majors, with Fnatic establishing the first ever CSGO Dynasty with a back-to-back major win. Let's see how better tactics helped Fnatic win. Already in Pistol of Map 1 ESL Cologne Katowice 2015, major final. We see Fnatic with a catwalk stack with 3 players to counter, giving away so much mid control over to Nip. And as we can see over the match of the final, this is a tactic that will lead to much success for Fnatic's side. The whole concept of stacking was never utilized before 2015. It was done in the other years, but never to such a crucial level as we see in this Fnatic match. Fnatic realized that with gambling on where the enemy would go, they could stack to catch opponents off guard and win rounds with this. In the Pistol, it's being played how it always have been, with a smoke on doors and a cat push. So not much have changed here, but in round 19, the Fnatic and Nip has a different understanding of long. When we saw Fnatic hold it, there would be 2 to 3 players defending long, while when Nip is holding it, it's only 1 player that gets a flash from side to take long. In round 20, we are seeing a late push to B with 3 smokes and 2 flashes left. When the push comes, we will see a timed flash with a player running out on it. This is already better than the flashes we have seen the other years. But in this push, only 1 flash was used. That had no effect, as well as no smoke lineup for window or door. I quickly wanted for 2015 to look at the Inferno of this major, just to see if anything has changed in the way teams are playing. In round 8, we are still seeing Fnatic running the banana take with a smoke from spawn to bottom banana, and the Molotov to ramp to kick out any re-aggression into banana while Fnatic takes it. And the round we are still seeing a lack of coffin smoke, only used of the CT smoke still.
It's Olofmeister and Flusher in B, and Olofmeister just calmly tucks around the corner and says, "No sir."
Now let's skip to 2017. I want to see a span of 2 years and how much have changed. In 2017, it was the end of the Brazilian era of CSGO. Last few years have been a dance between Sweden and France. Brazil CS was much more aggressive than the other powerhouses, which relied on slow gameplays and tactic. Brazilian was more in the know of playing aggression and fast to win, and boy was it working. But in 2017, we saw the end of the era, after Immortal lost to Gambit in the major final. Let's take a look. After Gambit goes up to a 3-0 starts on Inferno, we start to see how different CIS CS is than the other powerhouses, with a slow playstyle to take banana from both sides, but as soon as an opening comes, we are seeing an explosive banana take from Gambit. Their playstyle on the CT side is all about capitalizing on the openings rather than using complex tactics to get openings. With 4 players going banana, no flashes or smokes are used to help Lucas in the fight in banana. A costly misplay and shows the lack of understanding of utility's importance.
Lucas surely gonna check this. He's not. What's he thinking?
Round 6 we are seeing a more aggressive T-side with fast apps control and banana takes. Here to counter this we are seeing an amazing nade stack behind the Molotov to kill Hen 1. But look at how Immortals crawl back for an A execute with 2 players dead and 1-on-1 for HP. A great flash from apps to allow Immortals to take an explosive take, and this pays off. And such an improvement of spacing just going out. This game is known as a tactical masterpiece to look at. You will all know it from this clip right here.
Lots of money though there is though for Gambit, so they can try and take down any weapon. All of them are beneficial at this point in time.
Immortals now feeling like they know what to do to challenge this banana position. Gambit to send even more firepower there, bring more HP.
This is so
to the
smart.
party.
Oh, this is huge. Doji's throwing a nade into the corner just as the bomb's going to go off. They're both going to go down. Get grained on. Doja with the dunk. That's so smart.
This tells you by the caster reaction that this game was a little bit ahead of its time in tactical evolution. By looking at the Inferno game, we're seeing nades be way more utilized than we have seen in any other years of CSGO. After a quick look at the last few years, we are entering the Danish era of CSGO tactics. In this year we are seeing Kerrigan, but mostly Glaive with Astralis and winning a major this year. This Danish era was split between the hardcore calling of Glaive with strict tactics and then the Kerrigan calling that was loose and kinda gave you the vibe of just do what you want but end here in the end. And after a close fight for who was the best in the start of 2018, Glaive won the fight with 1 major this year. But let's see how the year started with the infamous FaZe vs C9 Boston Major. The first map is Mirage, and already in the Pistol we see a change with C9 running a setup on the T side with 2 smokes and not the standard 1 smoke we have been seeing over the past few years. They use them for the McDonald's smokes, A big change for how Virtus Pro were using 2 smokes on the Mirage round.
Big Cloud9 diving through the window there, out the balcony. That's the first obstacle overcome. Carrigan is down, and Cloud9 firmly plant the flag on the B bomb site, but Olaf Meister.
Round 4 and first full buy in play. We are seeing a lack of window smoke in favor of a top mid smoke and a flash to get Guardian out of window. This round falls flat after Rain gets a nice 1-for-1 trade in ramp and FaZe takes the first round.
It's going to be very, very tight. They cannot afford a single mistake here. If a single shot goes awry, that's the problem. Good trade out from Skadoodle, but it might be too little, too late. That's a good no-scope there from Skadoodle, but he still needs to get the bomb down! Oh my god, he might be able to do it! Skadoodle is fast, but it's not fast enough!
In round 5 we are seeing a perfect way of how FaZe is playing around the top mid smoke from C9, putting Olof and Nico in underpass to kill Stewie. C9 realizes that they have 2 under and 1 window. Catwalk is an easy target and rushes it to more success.
This is huge. They have to hold on to these 4 positions. He's going to push into the B apartments to stay safe. Cloud9's response, very fast push to B.
Yes, but the bomb is alone regardless.
In round 8, we are seeing C9 trying a fast play with a smoke for Catwalk, top mid and window on the fly while Stewie pushes. And when Stewie gets mid, the rest of C9 comes out and takes the aim duels.
Atlas here on the A site, and just like that, it's gone.
The numbers game working very well for Cloud9. They are everywhere.
It's round 16 and let's see how FaZe plays this. FaZe have opted for 1 smoke and some flashes. The smoke is used top con. This is made so FaZe can take more map control faster and it pays off.
On B. Can they get the openings? Well, there's one.
Stewie not landing the mark. He needed to get some kills there. So many opportunities, and Cloud9 have been eliminated on the A side.
Round 20, we are seeing FaZe for a similar start with pistol, with a set smoke for top con, while Nico throws the jungle smoke on the fly from Palace. This is too much success.
Cloud9 starting with 3 people around the middle area, but they're quickly rotating towards A.
They will take the site fast. Oh, quick play through the smoke there. That's not going to go too well for Automatic. Rush getting...
We're now on overpass, and this map was important for both teams. Up until now, FaZe was one of the, if not the best overpass team, so C9 had to bring the best tactics to win this. Look at the pistol, how prepared C9 are, giving full sight of B to FaZe 20 seconds into the round. But you can see the play. As soon as FaZe enters site, C9 already pushes out of connector and is tweezing FaZe on the site.
Bomb's in a really weird exposed position, but the frags are coming in now for FaZe Clan. 2 versus 3. Tarek round the back. And that leaves Guardian alone. 1 versus 3. No sniper for him just yet, but he has got a Glock and some frags. Rotating towards A, but no! He'll get an arrow in the back.
In round 4, it's all about the Rain lurk after Guardian gets a first kill. Look how little map control FaZe have. And FaZe knows this. As soon as they are leaving Monster, Rain springs to action, trying to get some opening. Here Skadoodle hits a great shot while FaZe is trying to boost over and Rain dies. In round 6, FaZe is throwing a default you are not seeing anymore, with a heaven smoke and a smoke for bridge thrown on the run. We can see in this game that lineups are quite underused. We're not seeing CT throw the monster smoke from spawn to B, as well as on execute some smokes are just being thrown on the run. Now we are going to quickly see how tactics have changed on the infamous map tree, Inferno. We're seeing the smoke used in mid to cross long, something that is not too ideal since if you take A site versus USPS, the Glock is at a disadvantage. And the last smoke for library, once again thrown on the run. But look, as soon as we hit the 50-second mark, C9 are nowhere to take site and with no smokes left. Will the flashes be enough? Flashes almost work, but Rain's anti-flash position was enough to soften the push and FaZe takes the pistol.
From that, Rain in the site gets pinched upon by Stewie in Automatic. That's a bomb plant, a 2v2 after plant to play for. Very long and drawn out pistol rounds here, and Cloud9 are set up very well, but they're stuck in the site for the time being as FaZe make their way forwards. Looking for the first engagement. Where are these players? They seem to realize their positions. They start to press, and the pistol bullets are all over the place, but it's going to be FaZe who get the defuse.
In round 2, we are seeing the CT smoke being thrown on the go, as well as 2 flashes are used that are not flashing site players, rather are flashing CT players, but C9 overrun FaZe and wins the second round. It's 1-1. Round 6, and we are still seeing a smoke on banana, but no aggression like nades from the CT, something that is the standard today. But here, before the B side take of C9, look at the utility of FaZe. They wasted so much in the start that now when the push happens, they can't defend it. What we can understand and learn from this match is that it's being played similar tactical wise on all the maps that we've seen in the former years that the champions do. Not much have changed tactically over the last 2 to 3 years of CSGO, but the next will be different. What we've seen so far this year is the lack of lineups, jump throws we see in all games today. But why? Well, it's not until 2019 that jump binds was legal in tournaments, and that's the reason we are seeing so many on the fly and on the go utility being thrown. 2019. I decided to skip the last part of 2018 and the Astralis win, since 2019 everything we know about CSGO would change. And this is why we are only looking at the last major final to see how much it has changed over the years. First, you need to understand how the meta changed. First big meta was the introduction of the Krieg and AUG meta. Two guns that got a lower price point, and oh my god were they good. It was so bad that some teams had a rule to not buy the Krieg the first 10 rounds, since if the CT got it, the game was lost. And this meta was a plague for the whole esports scene. Then we had some big economy changes that made pistol round less important. Since before, if you won the pistol round, you could easily get 3 to 4 round lead. Now with the new updated economy system, we saw a 2 to 3 round lead instead. And the last meta change was jump throws being legal, so let's see how that changed the game. It's the final, and we are finally seeing a repeat of the major final from 2018 London, Denmark versus CIS. And the two strongest region, and in 2018 we saw Denmark win. Will something change today? Astralis and Pistols showing a creative setup in Banana with a boost that's quite new. This is yet a showing of the tactical master when Glaive was. As well as look at the utility for Astralis, every player has some. Glaive have a great pop flash over the half wall, and we are now seeing a sign of flash lineups that have been quite underutilized up until now. This flash works wonder and Astralis are up 5-3. And here we see the coffin smoke lineup from Dupree and the CT smoke on the run. This is a smoke we have not seen in any other maps than now in 2019. Imagine such an important utility was only used at the top level 4 years ago. Something we are seeing Astralis is doing better than any other team is the understanding of map control before taking a site. Before this, players would spread out and just see where they would get kills or die and make up their mind from that. But here we see Astralis know where they want to go in the start, but still get the map control to make a visual map of how the enemy plays. In round 5, look at the utility that's used to take Banana. Astralis, understanding the importance, is willing to waste so much just to get Jame away. Does it pay off? On the push, Astralis missed and only does the CT smoke and not the coffin smoke, allowing Buster to help Jame on the site hold. But due to Astralis having better guns, they will win this round. In round 13, Avantgarde decided to play with 2 ops and try to hold off Astralis. Avantgarde plays it to perfection, with 1 op holding a mid rush, while Adren pushes to an off angle and gets intel in second mid. This round starts is how you beat the tactical genius like Glaive. Take away his intel and map control, giving them less to work with, and as soon as intel of Astralis is gone, they fall flat. But have Avantgarde done enough to win, or was this just a lucky fluke? Astralis in round 14 is straight back with a 3-man nade attack, killing Buster and Sanji falls flat to a pushing Mach 10 on Banana. Perfect way to use your utility, but look at how strong the Krieg is on Quickert, and they equalize the round with 2 swift kills. Astralis now with the default smokes to take site and play a retake, but look at the perfect utility from Avantgarde. First killing the bomb carrier with a nade, and then a Molotov to slow the default plant, a perfect way to wait out the smokes. It's 12-3, let's see what Avantgarde does to turn this around, if it's even possible. Avantgarde are running a 2 smokes and 2 Molotov combo, where we see the default smokes go. So how can Astralis stop this? Well, with a smoke themselves. Something we talked about on the C9 vs FaZe final was that FaZe lacked utility when the push happened, and look how Astralis understood this and is using this to counter the default smokes of Avantgarde. The smokes misses with an opening and Avantgarde takes it, running Astralis B-hold down and taking the first pistol round of the game. In round 19, we can see aggression and the answer to it, both Molotoving Banana to force the other team to leave or chill more in Banana. The Molotov is great from Astralis, trying to get a player to run mid into device op. A great nade lineup from Astralis gets the first kill of the round. Avantgarde is still going B after Astralis misses a smoke to block them again, but here it's no coffin smokes, rather flash and one-on-one fights. This backfires and Astralis is back on top.
С другой стороны смог, да, нашивал. Здесь нормально, обычный перекрестный огонь Magic. Ну вот как раз единственный молотов был у Санджи.
In round 20, we are seeing Avantgarde already pushing into the smokes and dying before the Avantgarde utility has landed. A big red flag, and Astralis takes the round and the map. Map 2, Dust 2. If you can remember when we last saw Dust 2, it was not played optimal with utility and peeking. How have we changed over the years? We're already seeing the Xbox smoke lineup from spawn, and Avantgarde have gotten middle. Here we are seeing the CT smoke being thrown from Xbox, but it's a fake. And Avangard are running up cat with one flash to get out, and Avangard falls flat here. The Vice was too much of a force on sight.
Back around the box. He's still got a couple of bullets left. Remember, we know he doesn't use many. There's one more kill, and the last one, he's finally gonna have a chance to reload.
Round 3 and Avangard are throwing the cat smokes. These were something new that were not done in previous majors we have looked at. These were so good to use, and look what happens to Astralis. They are run over and have to save. Just showing how one good tactic can win a round. Now we are in round 9 and the score is 1-7. Avangard understood the cat play worked and they're back to replicate the success. They run the same setup with a long and cat split with the same smokes. Here Cyprix tries to stop it to no effect and Avangard takes the round.
Win this fight, he's all in on this one. He doesn't get the kill, and Sanji instead with a double opening, and Magus, he's in position but already tagged up in a Dren, pre-firing the angle. This is a great execute for Avangard, turning around a Dren, a big double, and now Dupree. 1 versus 2. Actually 1 versus 3, but he already got the kill.
In round 14, Avangard does a similar cat and long take, but now Astralis is ready. Here I think Avangard lost the plot, since this tactics has been working great when they had a long present. Now they don't, and Astralis wastes no time using this change of detail to get the advantage. Just look how Astralis plays this.
But unable to find him, and Dupree happy to fall back, and actually Sanji very aggressive to find that kill. That actually might be worth it. I was gonna say, normally that's a huge risk to take, but you maybe have to do that right now. If you want to take down Astralis, maybe some of these risks are necessary. They've got no more grenades left on the Avangard side, and holding on to dear life on this bomb site. 3 versus 4, and the Danes have all of the grenades, and they're going to try and see if they can take this round back and get to 10 in the first half. Sanji waiting up here. First victim in front. That flashbang doesn't really do that much. Dupree trying to set up another one, and Sip goes down. Clave with 1 frag, and the turnaround. This device will take down Sanji, and they are on the bomb immediately.
Let's look at Astralis T side and the tactics we are seeing here. In round 17, Astralis have bought since they got the plant and are wasting no time taking long. Due to the fact that they have better guns for this, with a scout and 2 creeks, versus the buy of Avangard who have 2 SMGs. With 2 smokes to cross.
They have a Molotov and a Dren. That could really help out for an eventual bomb plant scenario, especially as the clock is running a little bit lower.
It's alright, these smokes, just the smoke that's used for the cross at the moment, that is designed to get this smoke away from Sanji. Everything going according to plan for Astralis at the moment. They've got the counter utility. Now a flashbang being used. They wanted the information and they've got way more. And now here comes the real hit.
And that might have been a big mistake there for Avangard. They had all of the defense. Now they're a man short. More grenades raining in. Only 15 seconds on the clock. Adren has already used the Molotov, and James in the corner though, gonna pick up 1 and nearly takes down Sip. That could have been the bomb down, but Dupree with a headshot instead. Adren's gonna get overrun, and Astralis will win the round somehow.
Astralis wins this round. In round 21, Astralis is out for blood on a fast play towards mid. After the first kill is traded, Astralis shifts and goes tunnel to execute B. Jane misses, and within a second they're out, and the rest is history.
And Astralis delivering the final uppercut to knock out Avangard.
You can't miss anything if you want to even have a chance here. Sanji rushing up through upper dunk. Dupree is ready to take him down, and now there's no more retake from that side. It's Buster and Adren. 2 versus 4. An impossible retake by any standards. Device will take down Buster, leaving Adren in a 1 versus 4. And ladies and gentlemen, they've done it for the 4th time!
This year we saw massive leaps in the meta, both in economy changes to the guns that is being used. We as well saw how important tactics had gotten. You had to bring something new if you wanted to win. Just look at the Dust 2 game, where Avangard only won 4 rounds, 3 of them with the great new tactic toward Dust 2 catwalk. So tactic game was starting to grow to a different level. Online era. The next 3 years I want to group together as the online era, and then added in 2022 to see how different the online era affected the evolution of CSGO at the highest level. The online era was known for some few things, like HLTV ranking seeing the biggest changes ever and more teams reaching top 10. And the infamous coaching scandal, of course. The 2020 major was cancelled, so we will jump straight to the Stockholm major, Navi vs G2. A battle of legends in Simple vs Nico. It's been 2 years, how much have changed? First of all, we are seeing Ancient as the first for this video. And here G2 opts for 2 smokes and 2 flashes. Navi only goes for 1 flash. The smoke is being used to take fast mid control with some set lineups, and then a well-timed pop flash into Donut to start the attack. Na'Vi ended up winning the gunfights and taking a pistol.
Go, bomb site is open. Nobody from Na'Vi to contend this one. Open runway here.
Na'Vi are paranoid now, starting to rotate a bit. He is going to be the first man on the scene. Looking for first blood of the final. Who will take that shot? Bomb to be planted. Long range exchange. Still nobody has hit the deck, and there it is. Blood drawn. Simple puts his name in the feed right next to the rookie. Already bodies are dropping for G2, and it's a disaster.
Round 4 and the first proper buy for both teams. G2 running with one smoke top mid and a Molotov to hold off the push from Donut. This is something we have not seen too much of. These set lineups for utility, not only flash and smoke, but now for a Molotov as well. To counter this, Na'Vi pushes through with a well-timed flash by Bit. Here G2 gets the trade, but look when they are in mid. See that they still throws utility towards A, even though they have no idea where to go. This is to keep the pressure on both sides, so Na'Vi can't get a good read on what G2 wants. Round 8, and we are seeing the infamous Molotov bug by G2. This is a bug where the Molotov will not explode mid-air, and was quite popular to use on some maps. Na'Vi to counter this have 3 guys running full blind trying to get some openings in mid, to no success. In round 9, look how well G2 knows Na'Vi's playstyle, with how they hold for the push after Nico gets the first opening. A big part of strat is how you respond to plays enemy do, and this is a perfect example of this. Round 20, Na'Vi have much more relaxed approach to mid, giving it to G2 so they waste utility before trying to take it back. And this works, since Na'Vi can put more effort taking cave and A main, here being rewarded with Hunter as a kill. And look at how different the rounds from G2 and Na'Vi looked, and we're seeing both playstyle work. Round 23 we are seeing a faster Na'Vi with 2 smokes from spawns, 1 for cave and 1 for top mid. The problem is how late Na'Vi is to get site and mid control. By now G2 have looked in mid and realized that to put 3 players on B would be the best way to force Na'Vi to retreat. Na'Vi regroups and goes for another push, this time to more success, getting into site, and Bit finishes it off like this.
With it, but the site is now taken. Boomich swinging in, delivers. It's Nexa to keep him humble, but look at Na'Vi's name in the feed. Another chance for Simple. Oh god, did he get him? He actually did. Hunter's gone. Jackson Amanek.
They're committed now. Look how far Amanek is. He's also leering into the site. Looks like they're going for this.
He's not going to forget about that box this time.
Yeah, but no kit here. Time of problem.
You're right. Do peek in. 1 of the 3 presents in the cave. They're both there. They dream if they had a smoke, and they do. Jax surely can drop it. Oh, but he's been fumbling with his nades, and they both line up for him. 2 more headshots for the tally, and Bit puts G2 down in the dumps.
Map 2, Nuke. Round 3 and now we are going fast outside with a smoke to block off main and heaven. Here G2 have the counter and uses a Molotov to stop the smoke and creating an opening for Nico. And this is one of the first times we have seen the use of Molotovs to ruin smokes lineups for the T side. This is a very common tactic. You will see this in window on Mirage, outside on Nuke, and on other maps where some smokes are must use. As soon as Na'Vi have a player secret, the rest are going ramp while Boomish is trying to use the outside smokes to the fullest, really getting those 15 seconds worth of a smoke. Round 9 and Na'Vi is going for an outside take, and look at how G2 uses their utility to stop this. For an outside take, Na'Vi have only 1 smoke left when they cross down to secret. Here Electronic steps up big to win the round.
To work with here, flashes back and forth to make room. Smokers drop, they're getting across towards secret. Electronic has the space, and he has teammates with him. Simple and Pumich coming on down into Nexa. He's unable to get the first. Electronic stops him in his tracks.
Oh, and he's forced to watch, Chad. Forced to watch as Na'Vi pursue their 4th.
This is difficult now. We've already seen what G2 do. They start to push towards lobby. They try and take the fight. Flash towards yard indicates they're having a look at least. Util drop towards top, and well, Nico, the man, he's just been tasked to go and take all this room.
Hunter doesn't have a smoke or an incendiary. He will not be able to hold them at bay with the spray. Not 3, but it's only Electronic. He's got a limp in the low site. Bomb on his back, a lot of responsibility. Bit to join him, perhaps down the vent. They've got 2 top site though. What's going on?
They could come back up now. The fact that they've called this clear is an avenue back on in. No smoke to get on out. Amanek already towards the lower side of things with that AWP, and now Nico pushing elsewhere, trying to take back some more room. 30 seconds. Na'Vi have to make a call.
But with the bomb, still decon. Oh, and Amanek. Perfect! Electronics just better!
What a shot, what a round so far. All three for Electronic. The bomb goes down. Nico on the prowl. The barrel is spotted here, and Perfecto is a dead man. 2-on-2. This one's on for G2.
Game time, a couple of flashes. Nico's signature AK, and they're coming their way. Bit to be baited in. Flashed, he has to run away. He's playing it well, and Electronic strikes, distracted works. And only Nico now. Bomb half gone. The nade just shy of Electronic. Nico running out of time and health. What a recovery.
What a round from Electronic. What a huge round. That first fight against Nexa. No business to win that. Gets the trade back. Hunter does everything he can. But that shot onto Amanek. Show me that. Show me that.
We'll see it again. That's an orb, Chad. It's supposed to be Amanek
11
every
HP.
day.
Look at this. Boop. See you later, mate. Huge rounds.
Now we're going into round 25 and G2 are trying a fast take like we see Na'Vi do. Na'Vi here have decided to Molotov behind the smoke to slow down the push and not Molotov the smokes to create gaps, like we saw G2 do. But look at how the whole G2 tactic rely on Nico's lurk outside. As soon as he gets the space, look at how willing G2 are to fake outside and the secret push just to go back to A.
Take back, if they head back towards Hell, they're going to push lobby. They're changing this one. Thinking about the boost, changing conversation. They need to make a decision now.
They know Trophy could be tested and ramp as well. Jax got a lot on his plate here on as the lobby holder, but he's got a premonition. He's aware of the potential as Nico's about to clear the site. They're not looking. Perfecto. Oh, slipping in. Jax delivers. G2 set for success and he's still patient. Nexa does deliver onto Simple. That's the bomb. Bit. Maybe he can finish the job with the incendiary. Does they? Oh, he just pushes in. And Jax collects. They have to wait out the molly at the bare minimum, but this looks like a 15.
And they're all alive here. And look, it wasn't through Nico, but his pace, it allowed it. Nexa there from the heavens, able to open this one up. And Boomich, the only man standing. Can they find him? Can they get this kill too? Amanek, he's looking the right way, but Boomich, he course corrects with the spray. Damage, if he can, is best, but this is still 15. This is still 15 now for G2.
Now for 2022. Major with FaZe versus Na'Vi. And here we are back to see some of the more common maps in the final between FaZe and Na'Vi. The first map is on Inferno, and we are back with FaZe deciding to go for 1 smoke and 2 flashes in pistol, and not the default 2 smokes. Something interesting that have been done before is to look at how Brokey and Rops take apps, with Rops allowing Brokey to go into apps silently, with 1 flash in mid, and the FaZe boys are out. And here we are seeing an amazing moto smoke from Kerrigan, telling Na'Vi that it's a short push coming, as well as FaZe ready to fight long for this take. And FaZe takes pistol.
Tim, space and bomb plant acquired. FaZe Clan have the advantage. Simple looking to change things. Those bullets are fast. They're furious. And I'm sure Na'Vi will be too. Perfecto though. Not out of it yet. Lots of utility. Time-sensitive mission. You must close the gap. Close it fast. Flash through. Back turn. And only Perfecto, head in hands. FaZe find the first round.
In round 7, FaZe have gotten the perfect start with a 6-0 lead. We are seeing the default banana take with a Molotov on car, and Na'Vi countering this with a deep Molotov and a smoke banana. Na'Vi smokes mid too early, allowing FaZe to wait it out and slowly take mid, while Twist takes banana control. FaZe, after killing Simple, goes straight for the split and wins the round.
Straight into the line of fire. Bit now called upon, and that's another on the T-side. Or Brokey hits double digits, and the rest will come. Brokey triple. What are they to do?
Save again. This is very miserable right now. And I'm looking at the details of this. How many rounds have they pressured Arch?
Round 9. Na'Vi's desperate, so it's time to try something new, with Bist boosted up on short and playing a setup with 3 in mid. 1 player long, 1 under the roof holding balcony, and 1 boosted holding boiler. FaZe with some great utility from the roof, but the setup of Na'Vi is too good, seeing Electronic getting 2 of the players running out. Interesting in this round is why FaZe is using the roof for utility and not the normal spots. Well, it's all about the time it takes for the utility to land due to the angle of the roof being higher, so smokes has less airtime. Round 21, and Na'Vi is going for banana control, and I think what we see from Boomish is the perfect way to hold when you don't want to use utility. Play an off angle and wait for a peek and fall straight back, and this pays off big time. 2023. I know that there were one more major left and one more fight versus FaZe and Na'Vi, but not much have changed in tactics. We saw in 2012 a time where lineup, utility management and strats were obsolete. And over the years we saw tactics evolve to what it is today, with spawn-based utility, set lineups for every useful nade and more. And now within 2 months we are entering a new era of Counter-Strike, an era without global offensive. And this time we are not entering it in the way we did in 2012 with global offensive. We are entering this new era with peak tactical understanding. But thankfully Counter-Strike 2 will still bring new life into the tactical side with a new smoke meta and more. If I showed some players from 2012 how much tactics have evolved at the highest level, they wouldn't believe me. We went from this to this. I got a great opportunity to look back at how much the game has changed tactically and how it's played. Thanks for watching.